Hello, good morning, students. Hope you are enjoying programming and learning new concept day by day. So previously we have created a game with the help of nested if, and let us discuss what is nested if. When we have a if statement inside another if or else, and here you can see we have a if statement which is inside else, or if I have this statement inside a if, then this situation is called nested if. Okay, now this part of this if will only execute when your above condition is false, right? So this is called nested if. So let us talk about today's agenda point now. We are going to create a simple program where we are going to enter three numbers and find out the greatest amongst them. Okay, so let's try to make it. So I'm going to go to file, create a new file. Let's call it greatest underscore number dot py, and here I have a file. Okay, now let's have an input. A is equals to int input, and let's have a number. Enter value of a, right? So here I'm prompting user to enter a number. Okay, this is our input. Remember what I have told you, when we are going to solve a problem, we have to divide our problem into smaller steps, or to simplify this, we are going to enter a we are going to divide our program into input, processing, and output. Okay, so first of all, input, I'm going to take a three variables, and let's take a input enter value of b, let's say, and similarly I'm going to check it c. Okay, so now we have a input. Let's have a comment, program to print greatest number. Okay, so now we have a input. This part is our input. Now what is processing? Now we have to find out which number is greatest. So now a is greater when a is greater than b and a is greater than c. Okay, this is the simple condition. When both the conditions are true, then only we can say a is greatest. Okay, so let's have this print, and I'm going to have a is greatest, and you can print a value of a here instead. So I'm going to print a value of a like this. That's it, I'm done. Okay, now this is a simple part. Let's try to execute and see. Now I'm going to enter a value of a which is 10, and I'm going to enter 4 and 7 here. So now according to my inputs, both the conditions are true, so I must get a is greatest. Okay, now see, a is greatest, that's fine, but the problem with my code is it doesn't tell whether b is greater or c is greater. So now let us make a program for this. Okay, if b is greater than a and b is greater than c, then we can say b is greater. Okay, let's run this program. B is greatest. Okay, now let's run this program and check it out. So here I have a syntax error because I missed a colon, right? So let's have a colon and try it again. Okay, so 13, 20 and 6. Now you can see 20 is greatest. Still I'm getting a greater value, right? Now let's do it for C also. I'm just going to copy this one, paste it, and let's have C in place of a B here and here also. Okay, now let's try this one and check it out. If I have a 13, 45, let's say 100, so you can easily get, okay, I have used wrong here. C is greater than B, I must write. See, these are the logical error, you have to figure it out, and it is a part of a programming. You don't have to be afraid when you are not able to create a program many times. In the starting, it will happen. Okay, let's execute this program and check it out. Okay, so 34, 78, and this time we have a very greatest value of C, so I'm getting 100. So this is a simple thing which can be done, right? Now the same program can be created with the help of nested if. Okay, so now let's create this with the help of nested if. Okay, I'm going to make it a comment and create this program with the help of a nested if. Okay, if A is greater than B, then we need to check A is greater than C. Okay, now you can see both. If this condition is true, then only it will check this condition, and if this condition is true, we can say print A is greatest, right? Else, now in else, what are the probabilities? Now the probability is that B may be greater or C may be greater. The probability is that only C can be greater because B is already smaller than the A. Then only you are inside here. So you can check it. You can say print C is greatest. Okay. Now in the else part, we can say if B is greater than C, then B is greater. Print B is greatest, let's say, and else C is greatest. Okay, now let us understand why I have written this piece of code. So it is very obvious, we are going to check A is greater than B. So if A is greater than B, then only you are inside this piece of a code, and you already know that B is smaller, so you want to just check A is greater than C or not. If this condition is true, then you can check it out ki okay, A is greatest, and if A is smaller than C, then it means C is greater than B, right? This is logically correct. Now let us have a simple value of A and B and C and to testify this. Okay, so let's have a CLS first and then try to execute this piece of a code, and here is the value of A. Now I'm keeping intentionally A is greater. A is 15 and B is, let's say, 6, and C is greater than A, let's say 89. Okay, so now what will happen? A is 15 and B is 6, so the condition is true. So we move inside, and now A is our 15 and C is 89, which is already greater than 6, right? So this proves that if the condition is false, then you don't have to check C is greater than B, because you are inside here because A is greater and A is greater than C is greater than A, so it is already obvious that B will be smaller than the C. That's why I can write this piece of a code. Now see, so 89 is greatest and this is the value of a C, so 89 is greatest. Now for the else part, if A is smaller than B, then only you are inside this block. Then you have to just check B is greater than C or not. If B is greater than C, then you can specify B is greatest. But if this is not the case, then C is greatest with the same logic. Okay. Now let's test this also. Here I'm going to write the value of A is equals to 12. Now B is greater than the A and C is also greater than the B. So you can see when we are in the else part, both the values are greater, right? So you are moving here and then you don't have to check whether C is greater than A or not, because it will always be, right? So if I click on it, so my program is still giving me correct result, right? Now one more time, this time I'm going to have B is greater, okay, 45, B is 100, and let's say C is anything, so 78, that will be fine. Now if you see, I'm getting a correct result. So what is the conclusion? We can create one program or a given program in many ways and all are correct. Maybe some program may be faster, which can be great thing, but still if your program is working, then it's correct, right? So this is what I have to tell you today, and let's have a question this time. Now the question is, you have to make a program to input 4 numbers and find out which one is greatest. Very simple. You have to input 4, which one is greatest. And the next question is, write a program to input 3 numbers and find out greatest and smallest number amongst them. Okay, so these will be your 2 tasks for the day. Okay, so we are going to conclude this video here only. Goodbye and have a nice day.